content is not broken. Your system is. Let that sink in. Because right now, you don't have a content problem. You have a content chaos problem. You're posting, you're creating, you're experimenting with AI tools. But still, no consistency, no compounding growth, no predictable outcomes. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit: the winners in the next 3 years won't be the best creators. They'll be the ones with the best content operating systems. Because AI has changed the game, 94% of marketers plan to use AI in content creation by 2026. 80% already use AI for content workflows, and 88% of organizations are now using AI in at least one function. So, if everyone has AI, then why are most people still struggling? Because tools don't scale, systems do. Let's break this down. There are only two types of content creators right now. First, the chaos creator. This is probably where most people are. Random ideas, no content calendar, AI prompts saved in Notion somewhere, reels, blogs, LinkedIn posts, all disconnected. You create content like this: idea to write, write to post, post to repeat, repeat to burnout, no feedback loop, no optimization, no learning system. And the biggest problem: every piece of content starts from zero. Second, the system creator. Now compare that to someone with a system. They don't create content, they run a content engine. Their workflow looks like this: insight to framework, framework to multi-format, multi-format to distribution, distribution to feedback, and feedback to optimization. Every piece of content feeds the next one, improves the system, and compounds over time. Here's what's scary: 56% of marketers still use AI in ad hoc ways. 51% can't track ROI from AI content. So, despite massive adoption, most people are still in chaos mode. AI didn't fix content, it exposed bad systems faster. I'm going to break down the AI content operating system into three layers. First, workflow architecture. Second, content engine. And third, feedback loop. Start with workflow architecture. This is your foundation. Without this, nothing scales. A strong workflow has 5 stages. The first is the input layer. This is where ideas come from. Not random inspiration, but structured inputs like customer conversations, search data, AI assisted research, and competitive analysis. Ideas should be sourced systematically, not emotionally. The second stage is the intelligence layer. This is where AI becomes powerful. You take raw inputs and transform them into structured thinking, frameworks, angles, narratives, positioning. The key shift here is that AI is not just a writing tool, it is a thinking partner. It helps you process information and generate clarity. The third stage is the production layer. This is where most people focus. But in a system, it is just one part. From a single core idea, you create multiple formats. A long form video or podcast becomes short form clips, text posts, articles, and more. This is content multiplication. You are no longer creating one piece at a time. You are expanding one idea into a network of content. The fourth stage is distribution. This is often ignored, but it is becoming one of the most important layers. Distribution today is heavily influenced by algorithms and increasingly powered by AI. AI-driven advertising and automated content distribution are growing rapidly. If you are relying only on manual posting, you are limiting your reach. The fifth stage is optimization. This is where systems outperform creativity alone. You track performance metrics like retention, engagement, click-through rates, and conversions. Then you feed those insights back into your system. Over time, your content improves not because you are guessing better, but because your system is learning. Once this workflow is in place, you can build the content engine. Your goal is not to create content. Your goal is to build a machine that produces and improves content continuously. A simple model looks like this. One core idea leads to multiple angles. Each angle becomes several pieces of content. These are distributed across multiple platforms. The results are measured and fed back into the system. This approach is necessary because the scale of content is increasing dramatically. The AI generated content market is projected to grow to over $140 billion in the next decade. Content marketing as a whole is approaching a multi trillion dollar industry. This is no longer just about creators, it is about infrastructure. And this is where the feedback loop becomes critical. Most people create content, but they do not learn from it. They look at surface metrics or move on too quickly. A true system asks deeper questions: what worked, why did it work, and how can it be repeated or improved? AI without feedback creates noise. AI with feedback creates scale. Now, there is another layer that is becoming increasingly important, and that is governance. As AI generated content becomes more common, issues of trust, authenticity, and quality are becoming more visible. A significant percentage of phishing and malicious content is now generated using AI. Hyper personalized but misleading content is increasing. Audiences are becoming more skeptical. At the same time, industries and regulators are starting to respond. There is growing demand for transparency in AI usage. There are discussions around disclosure requirements and control mechanisms in content ecosystems. For creators and brands, this means one thing: if you do not build governance into your system, you risk losing trust. A simple governance framework includes three principles: transparency, originality, and control. Transparency means being clear about how AI is used in your process. Originality means adding your own perspective rather than just remixing existing ideas. Control means maintaining human oversight and decision making, even when AI is involved. The future is not about choosing between AI and humans. It is about combining systems, AI, and human judgment in a way that creates both scale and trust. Looking ahead, several trends are becoming clear. First, content ecosystems are becoming AI first. AI will handle scale, but humans will differentiate through taste, perspective, and authority. Second, agent led content is emerging. AI systems will not just assist in creation, they will plan, produce, and distribute content with increasing autonomy. Third, the biggest competitive advantage will not be access to technology, it will be the ability to execute through systems. Most organizations are experimenting with AI, but very few have built structured operating systems around it. This creates a gap, and that gap is an opportunity. To close, consider this: you do not need more tools, you do not need more prompts, you do not need more random content ideas. What you need is a system that connects everything. Because in the AI era, content alone does not win. Individual creators alone do not win. Systems win. Content is not broken. Your system is. Fix the system, and content becomes consistent, growth becomes predictable, and scale becomes inevitable.